This call is now being recorded.
Yeah, good morning to one and all. Screen is visible for you now.
Good
Okay.
morning, sir. It is visible,
Yeah,
sir.
very good. Yeah, no, yeah. We shall start. Yeah, see, last day we discussed about what is meant by sampling and what are the types of sampling methods. Within the sampling methods, we discussed about only the probability sampling method. So within this probability sampling method, we have discussed about the what are the types of random sampling methods. So we discussed about the simple random and systematic, stratified, cluster, and multi-stage random sampling methods. So today we will discuss that what are the non-random sampling methods or what are the non-probability sampling methods. So within the non-probability sampling method, there are 4 or 5 types of sampling methods. So we will discuss one by one. So what is first we need to understand what it means by non-random sampling method or non-probability sampling method. Yeah. See here. So today we will focus on only the non-probability sampling method and non-random sampling methods. So what it means by non-probability sampling method? It means here, see, if each and every unit of the population has not got an equal chance to be selected, is called non-probability sampling method. Okay, or if each and every unit of the population or segment of the population or part of the population has not got an equal chance to be selected, that is called non-probability sampling method or non-random sampling method. So have you got the point what it means by non-random sampling method or non-probability sampling method? Hello dear students, you need to respond it. Yeah, when I'm
Yes,
asked the question you need to respond because I'm not able to understand whether you understood or not. Okay, so here simple you can remember that it is quite opposite for the random sampling method. Okay, so here each and every unit or each and every part or each and every subset of the population has not got an equal chance to be selected is called non-random sampling method. So here we can discuss that what are the non-random probabilities are there. So here see the probability of each case being selected from the total population is not known. For example, see when we are selecting a sample from the population. Okay, so when you are selecting a sample from the population, so earlier in a random sampling method, we know that where we can select a sample from the population, nothing but on the base of different categories. So we came to know that what are the sample we are going to select. Okay, so here non-probability sampling method, each case being selected from the population is not known. Is not known. The units of the population or units of the sample are chosen on the basis of the personal judgment or convenience. So why the people are the researcher or principal investigator, he will pick up the sample from the population, but in this non-random sampling method, the units of the sample are chosen on the basis of personal judgment. For example, I am the principal investigator for the particular project or particular research. For example, I am a scholar. So, on the basis of my personal judgment, I may select a sample from the population, but I am not follow that systematic, simple, or stratified, or cluster, or multi-stage. Simple. If I like somebody, I will select them only. That is called on the basis of my personal judgment. I will select the sample. Or if you take on convenience, for example, if I want to know that what are the socio-economic conditions of laborers in Telangana state, for example, if you take socio-economic conditions of laborers in Telangana state. So in Telangana state, where I can select for those who are living in my surrounding area beside my home, simple I will select them because it is very convenient to them. It is very convenient to me to select them because there is no travel cost. Okay, there is no time lag, time waste. See, in that case, as per my convenience, I may select the sample from the population. Okay, I may not follow that random sampling methods procedures. Am I clear, dear students?
yes, sir.
Yeah, one
Yes,
by one
sir.
I will discuss. and there are no statistical techniques for measuring random sampling errors. So when you are taking a sample by using the non-random sampling method, so there is no statistical techniques for measuring the sampling errors. Nothing but when you are collecting information from the population, there is some sampling errors. So when you are adapting this non-random sampling method, so there is no statistical measures to measure the how much the statistical sample errors occurs. So generally, for example, if you take into account when you take the sample of 100, you may get around 5 sample errors. Generally, for example, if you take into consider, sometimes you may not get. You may get 1 also, 2 also. That doesn't matter. That is a sampling errors. For example, when you are selecting a sample from the non-random by using the non-random sampling method, okay, in that case only we cannot find out how much the sample error is occurred. So that is the case. There are no statistical techniques for measuring the random sampling error in the non-probability sampling methods. The first one is a convenient sampling method. What it is convenient sampling method? Can anybody say that? Convenient sampling method.
On our convenience, we may do the survey, sir. Means
Yeah.
collect the sample.
See, as per the researcher's convenience, you may select the sample from the population. For example, you are the students, those who are studying in the Central University of Andhra Pradesh. So, if you live in your campus, for example, if somebody has given the project, if you have some project work, for example, so you have to select your sample. So, will they collect from Bihar? Will they collect from Delhi? No. So, as per your convenience, those who are living in surrounding your campus, you may go to them. Nothing but you may visit their village, their homes, and you may collect some information. So you may conclude that as per my convenience, I have selected or else I have collected data surrounding of our campus, right? That is your convenient sampling method. Is it clear, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then another one, quota sampling method, then judgmental sampling method, purposive sampling method, then snowball sampling method. So one by one we will discuss. See, these are the non-random sampling methods or non-probability sampling method. First one is a convenience, quota, judgmental, purposive, and snowball. Am I right? Okay. Then we one by one will discuss. First one is a convenience sampling. See, as we discussed that what it is, convenience sampling. Convenience sampling involves choosing respondents at the convenience of the researchers. For example, you are the researcher. If you do some research in particular area, a particular subject, you may select sample as per your convenience, your local people, for example. Okay. Generally, if you take into account those who have done +2 level, somebody have their projects. Okay. Here, in order to do some project, what they can do, simple, those who are living in apartment, simple, they will collect information from their apartment people only. So they will collect sample from their apartment people and they will analyze and they will present in their project. So that is their convenience. Okay. So I may show you best example. See what it is here. Can anybody can show that? Can you tell anything about this picture? Hello.
So the girl want to ask something about a dog or the man.
Yeah. Next one. Anyone? See. Yeah. See. She is living in the first floor, right? So something is fall from that this floor. So what she can do? Simple. Those who are nearby this place. Simple. She will look at surroundings. So the man is going for walk, for example. If you take, so simple, she will call to him. Whatever it falls from first floor, simple, he will give back, right? So as per his convenience, she is calling this boy or this man, right? So this is a convenience. For example, she may not call to other apartment people, other their surrounding people. Please come and give back, right? So as per her convenience only, she's asking the man, right? Have you understood about the convenience sampling method?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Say, yeah, best example, I may give another example. See, when you're sitting in your classroom, something is fall, for example, pen or book. What you can do? Can you take into account? Can you take? No. You can ask your friends, those who are convenience, please give me that. Right? See,
Yes,
when
sir.
you're sitting in the benches, something is fall. See, your pen, your wallet, something, anything. So if it is fall from that particular table, so you may ask that your friends, please can you give me that? Right? That is your convenience. That is your convenience. Then what are the advantages of convenience? See, it is very low cost. When you take into account the convenience sampling method, that main advantage is very low cost, and extensively used and understood. For example,
Sir,
if
excuse
you
me,
take
sir.
the convenience sampling, which is very, yeah, please.
Sir,
Anybody want to say?
Satya Prakash, something. Only 1 minute.
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah.
Satya
Yeah.
want.
Yeah, admitted.
Okay.
Then anybody is left? Yeah, now is screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, as you know, that is very low cost because we need no need to travel from one place to another place, right? Then second is extensively used and understood. For example, if you take into account, if you belongs to a farming community, so for example, if your father is a farmer, for example, if you select a topic from farmers' perceptions, for example, so easily you can understand that what is their pain, what are the problems they faced by the farmer, what are the problems faced by the farmers, because you can easily understood that what are the problems they are facing and what are they need, what they needs, right? So it is very easy to understand and extremely used also. It is very easy to understood the particular concepts, right? Am I right, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
For example, if you take into account your father is a labor, for example, see, if you take into account your research topic is belongs to the labor community, for example, so simply you can understand easily that you may select your father's friends, what are the problems they face, you can easily understand their feelings and their things which are very related to your topic. So that is very easy to those who are taking a convenient sampling methods. And disadvantages. The first disadvantage is variability and bias cannot be measurable or controlled. For example, when you take the disadvantage of bias, for example, when your father belongs to the farming community, if you select your father friends only, so your father friends may not give the exact data also sometimes. Okay, so you may not some questions which are not which is relevant also. For example, as I told you earlier, that is how many wives you have. For example, sometimes they have the 2 or 3, but you cannot ask such kind of questions to your uncles like this. So there is some bias will occur in the convenient sampling methods, and which we cannot measure also, which we cannot control also, because which are very convenient. For example, if you take into account, if you ask your neighbors, for example, about your topic or some questions, so something they will say, don't you know now? So whatever you are facing problems, simple. So you are daily you are observing now, you can take into account, you can write it to your answers. Oh, no need to ask the hours, right? So somebody will say like this also. And projecting data beyond sample are not justified. See, for example, when we are doing the research, when you're applying the convenient sampling method, that can be projecting the data beyond the sample not justified. For example, when you're say taking a sample on the basis of convenient sampling method, so which cannot be justified, nothing but which the results cannot be accurate also sometimes. That is the unjustified. The restriction of generalization. Sometimes there are some restrictions to generalize our results. For example, if you consider, if you take a convenient sampling method, for example, if you take the farmers community, for example, if you belongs to Andhra, for example, in Andhra, farmers' problems are different from the Orissa, Bihar, and Telangana, because somewhere the problems are some different. We cannot generalize all the nation, all the states, right? So if you take the labors, for example, if you take labors in a particular area, so the labor problems are different from the Mumbai labors or Hyderabad labors. If you take Gulf countries, for example, the labors problems is different from Gulf labors problems is different from in our Indian labor problems. So generally, we cannot generalize the when you're using the convenient sampling method. So am I clear, dear students, about convenient sampling method?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What about others?
Yes,
Sir,
Yeah, please.
sir, in convention sampling, it is an accurate sampling process, sir.
Yeah, each and every sampling method they have the advantages and disadvantages. But as per your interest, as per your things only, you need to apply that model. But is it? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Then quota sampling method. So quota sampling, what it means the quota sampling method? So generally the population is first segmented into the mutually exclusive subgroups. For example, if you want to take, if I want to take a feedback from the students, what I can do, simple, I may ask the questions only if the boys, what the girls will think. Sir is biased towards the girls because he is not asking any question, he is not taking any questions, answers from the girls also. So in that case, we need to follow the quota sampling. One thing, but we need to divide into the groups, boys and girls. Okay, so that is the thing that we need to follow certain norms when you're selecting a sample from the population. That is a quota sampling method. Simple here, the population is first segmented into mutually exclusive groups, exclusive subgroups, just and stratified sampling method. So whatever we have done stratified sampling method, nothing but the small farmers, marginal farmers, medium farmers, large farmers, like that we need to follow on the basis of their quota. For example, if you select uh, for example, if you as per the Indian Constitution, the ladies reservation is 33%. So as per the representative of the some bodies, so they will select nothing but on the basis of the quota. For example, if the recruitment is going to come up, for example, any jobs. So what they can do, simple, they can divide into the subgroups. So if there is 100 jobs are available, 33 jobs for the only males, sorry, 33 jobs for the only females, not males. So within that remaining jobs, there may be combined, nothing but male or female. But a particular reservation only, they will get their quota. Am I right, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. So if you take into account your admissions, for example, so as per your quota only, you are going to get some admissions. For example, as per OBC quota, as per open quota, as per reservation SC quota and ST quota and other quotas, or female quota. Okay. And if you take into account PW, there is a physically some PH, physically handicapped, right? So on the base of their quota, so we need to select some samples. So that is called quota sampling method. So their advantages. So the advantage is the first one is used when researcher budget is limited. So when we can use this kind of quota sampling method, when we have the less budget, when we have the less budget, we can use a quota sampling method. Then next one is it is very extensively used and understood. So it is also see most of the researchers they will use the quota sampling method. So easy to understood that we can take representative nothing but so each strata we can take into consider to represent their quota. Okay, for example, if you take into account the dean or some other officials, they will ask from the universities. See, so you can tell the 3 or 2 names from your class to in order to represent your class. So if the teacher, the class teacher, if they will be, if the person is giving only boys names, it is not a good thing. So we need to give the 2 names. That is one from boys and one from girls on the basis of their quota. Right. So here, if they want to know that if they want to express their views regarding to their problems of the students, so girls' problems are different from the boys' problems. Okay, in order to represent the both problems, so one from boys and one from girls. I'm a clear, dear students, about the quota sampling method.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And next one, no need to list of population elements. For example, in order to select them, no need to list of the population element, nothing but we no need to write off their names, serial names. For example, the principal or some coordinate or the dean, if they will ask to send the 2 representatives from your class. So I may not list out their names, girls and boys. Simple, I may select one from boys and one from girls without listing their names serially. And disadvantages. So here also see there is some bias also there. Bias cannot be measured easily. We cannot measure. For example, see if I select one boy from boys and one girl from girls. So if I if they know well known to me, if I select them only, what other people will think that sir is biased only, always is selecting that girl only, why not other girl? Some boys will think that why he is selecting only that boy, there are number of boys are there, why is sending only one boy to represent all the class always, like this. So these are some bias which cannot be measured easily and which we cannot control, right? Am I right, dear students?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
I hope I'm giving a example which are close related to you, but we can apply in the research also. Okay. So it is a time consuming also sometimes when you are not to divide all the people in the on the basis of different strata and present the data behind the sample not justified. The next one is a judgmental sampling method. Judgmental sampling method. So can anybody can guess that? Yeah, what it means by judgmental sampling method? Can anybody can give the answer about the judgmental sampling method?
Making judgment.
Yeah. Then. So just now I told you that the class teacher may send the two people to represent their class. See, if I select a boy and a girl, for example, if I select two people from the class, see what other people will think that why the sir is selecting only that two people, that boy and that girl, right? So they may have the doubt and they may have the see. In that case, the sir can give the exam. The sir can be answered like this. See, on the basis of my judgment, I have selected the two people because the judgment is nothing but on the basis of their expertise. The expert people will select the sample from the population because as per the requirement only, I may select the two people. For example, if you take into account, for example, if there is annual games are going to conduct, for example, what they will ask that please send the two representatives from your class. If I select those who are not interested in the games, so is that good selection in the population sample?
No, sir, it is not at all.
Yeah. So as per my, for example, the PD, if you take into account the physical director, they will select two people from the class because he knows that who is playing best in your class from the girls and boys. The physical director may select two people from the girls and boys because he is expertise to select a sample from the population. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can I give another example or is it enough? Here, researcher employs is our own expertise judgment about. For example, if you take into account after completion of your degree course and graduate course or master course, so if somebody will, if you want to join in a good job, for example, somebody will conduct interviews, right? For example, if you want to join as a teacher, for example, if you take into account, then if the well-known person will come, nothing but those who are expertise in the particular field only, he may come for the expert, like, right? Am I clear, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for example, if you take in our economics, for example, so who is more expert in economics subject, he may come for the interview, right? So we are the students, so we will go for the interviews, right? So how he will select? Nothing but those students whose nothing those those who have the more knowledge on the particular subject, he may select, right? Am I right, dear student?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
in
sir.
that case, that is called judgmental sampling method. Judgmental sampling method. So, say for example, you may teach better than others, but as per their expertise, nothing but those who are expert in the particular field, you may not teach properly in their particular subject. For example, if you take into account, in order to select a teacher, for example, I am from economics background. For example, somebody will come from as an expert in the statistics. Sometimes the statistics can interview me, but I may give more example from economics background. He may expected that he might have been expected that he may expected that more example from statistics, but I am not able to give more example in statistics. In that case, he may select the other people rather than me. Okay, so that is the case. That is on the basis of their judgment, nothing but their expertise. Okay, so or else if you don't mind, simple we can mean the judgmental sampling method is, on the base of their expertise, the sample will be selected. Okay, if you take best example, judgment, the judge people, nothing but in the courts, how they can give the statements on the base of their expertise. So simple, he will take the feedback from the two sides. So whatever he think which is the best, on the base of the best only he will give the statement. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it understood, dear students, the judgmental sampling method?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, then
Yes,
we need
sir.
to understand the advantages. Here, see, when the judgmental samplings are taken place, there is an assurance of quality response. See, for example, when the on the base of judgment sample, the particular person he may get assurance of quality response. For example, if you take into account, if the particular course is going to start, for example, your course only, so the particular dean and other officials, they need to select a teachers, right? So on the basis of their expertise, if they select a good person, so there is some assurance of quality will be there, right? So without conducting any interview, if they select something, if anyone without conducting interview or something, so he may not teach properly, nothing but they cannot get quality. Am I right, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is the advantage of the judgmental sampling method, which we can get assurance of quality response. Then meet the specific objectives. So what it is means, meet the specific objectives. See here, whatever they need, they will select that people only, right? See here, in our subject, for example, BSc honors, right? BSc economics honors, right? So here, if I am teach to only statistics, whenever I'm teaching statistics, if I am not giving example to the economics, where it can be applicable, where it can be used. So is it good person or nothing? But it can they meet specific objectives?
No, sir.
No, sir.
For example, if you take, I'm teaching a statistics for economics. For example, if I teach only formulas and answers, so what you will think? So we will get that this kind of simple things only we will do it. But what is the use of this statistics in our economics? That is the main question in our economics people, right?
Yes, sir.
So when they are going to select, their target will be theirs. For example, whomever they will pick up, the people should be meet to their specific objective. Nothing but if they have selected me, for example. So on the base of selection, see, if I'm teach only statistics, nothing but I cannot teach while I'm teaching. If I am not giving any examples where it can be applicable, where it can be used, and what is the interpretation, what is the results of how we can interpret the results. See, can you get any more knowledge?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. So it means that the people cannot meet their specific objectives, because so as a BSc economics honors, you should be learn the statistics, as well as you need to know that where it can be applicable, what is the use of these statistics techniques, and how we can interpret the results, right? So that is the expertise we need to take into consider. So that is the advantage of judgmental sampling method. Is it clear, dear students? Advantage?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then disadvantages. The first is a bias selection of the sample may occurs. What it is, the bias selection of sample may occurs? For example, if you take into account a partiality. For example, if your our dean is well known to me, for example, if he selected only me, there is some bias selection. If, for example, if somebody is who is going to teach more than me, nothing but who is more expertise rather than me, if they select only me, that is a bias selection. For example, if you take into account, if you are an interview person, for example, you are expert. If you select your friend only, what will happen? There is some bias, right? So
Yes,
the main disadvantage is a bias of selection may occurs, right?
Yes, sir.
Then is a time consuming process. For example, in order to take, if for example there is a one post in available in a particular location in a particular university, for example, if you take it to consider, so there is a one post. If you conduct a interview for the 50 students, 50 people, so in order to conduct interview, it is very time consuming. So when they are giving advertisement only itself only, we need to post that those who are expertise in the particular field only, they're eligible. Nothing but those who are expertise in the particular subject only, they will come to the interview only, right? So if there is only one economics post, all economics people will come to the interview. Nothing but, so somebody will expertise in microeconomics, somebody will expertise in macroeconomics, somebody will expertise in statistics, somebody has expertise in econometrics, right? So more number of people will come to attend the interviews. So when the expertise is going to conduct interview, it may take more time. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's why it is a time-consuming process. Is it clear that what about judgmental sampling method? Is it clear? I hope you understood about this judgmental sampling method. So if
Yes,
you have any
sir.
doubt, you can ask me now. Yeah, then next is snowball sampling method. Snowball sampling method. So what is snowball sampling method? Anybody can say that? Can anybody can guess? So I may say that instead of snowball sampling, we can say the ball sampling method. It is easy. For example, if you take into account when some particular party is going to start. For example, if the particular party is going on, so we need to play games, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
See, for example, if you are going to conduct a freshers party, for example, or freshers party, for example. So in the freshers party, so somebody want to, so nothing but nobody right to speak, or nobody right to dance, or nobody right to sing. What you have to do? Simple. You can take a ball. Okay. So simple. You can put a ball in the particular person. Okay. So you can start the music. Okay. So meanwhile, when the music is going on, meanwhile the person can give the ball to someone. Then that person can give to another one. So in that case, when the music stops, only where the ball is there, nothing but where the ball is there, the person is going to start the singing or dancing. Right? That is a snowball sampling method. Am I clear, dear students, about the best example for you? I hope.
Yes, sir.
Generally, we can do in the parties. Somebody will give the ball or some item, so they will give the music. So one start music that somebody has give to some beside people's, right? So once the music stops, only the particular person where the ball is stopped out, so the particular person is going to perform the dance or singing. Am I right? Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So shall I give another example?
Yes, sir. You can.
See, for example, I want to do research on software engineers. For example, I don't know. I know only one person. Those who are working in software company. So I may contact that particular person, right? Okay. Then I may take the data from the particular person. Then what I can do, because I don't know who is working in software companies. Simple. I may take his friends' numbers. Whatever I select first person, the person is called key person. Then only I may ask to him to give your friends numbers, or you may contact nothing but I may contact to their friends number. I may contact their friends. After that, after taking the two friends names, after taking the data from two friends, then I may ask to their friends also. That is a one to another. Nothing but there is a link. Okay. Am I clear this one, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, or else if you take into account, see, there's the best example for that software engineers, the snowball sampling. So the research starts with a key person and introduce the next one to become a chain, like a chain system. For example, I know the one person who is working software. Then I will go and visit the particular software company, and I will take the data from him. Then I will ask to him to introduce your friends. Okay. Then I will take the data from their friends, and I will ask again to them to introduce your friends. 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to, like that. So there's a chain system. Okay. Is it clear that snowball sampling method?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is the best example for another farmer suicides also. For example, in a village, we don't know how many farmers have committed suicides. So if once we visit some villages, so in village, if we consult a particular person, a particular home, so we will take the data. So again, we will ask that is there any person who has committed suicides on the basis of the problems of faced by the farming community? Okay, so we may ask to 1 or 2 person, then we will go to them, they will homes and we will collect the data. Then again we will ask to them. Okay, so that is a chain system. Is it clear? Snowball sampling method.
Yes, sir.
So the advantage is low cost. The second one is useful in specific circumstances and locating rare population. See, for example, if you take into account, for example, if you take into account from Telangana, most of the people will move from Telangana to Gulf countries to work, do some works. Okay, so if you take into account, if you found one person, that's a key person, he knows that how many I have from Telangana state and their location also he may say, right? Or else if you take into account in university, for example, somebody is from Telangana, somebody is from Andhra, somebody is from Bihar, somebody is from Kolkata, somewhere, for example. How you can find out how many people from your state? Simply you can ask one person. So then only you can know that, do you know that is there any one person, another person from our state or our location, right?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
simple. If you take, for example, if you are from belong to Bihar, for example, so you can ask when I am introducing yourself only. So you told that I am from Bihar, for example. So when somebody is from Bihar, so you simply can catch in. So I am also from Bihar. So where is your location? Where is your native place? Right? So that is a call for the rare population only we can catch it. Am I right, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The disadvantage is not independent. Then projection data beyond the sample not justified. So these are the non-random sampling method, and there is a last one, the self-selection sampling method. Self-selection sampling method.
So could you please tell the disadvantages?
Which one about this one? Snowball,
Yes, sir.
right? So it is not a independent, nothing but when you are selecting a snowball sampling method, which is not a independent. Nothing but whatever the key person told that introduce their friends. So we need to go and we need to collect them only. But we don't know that whether they are working as a software engineers now or not. For example, if you take in account, if you ask some name, now those who are teaching in economics, for example, I may give my friend name, but a particular person is teaching presently or not, doesn't matter.
Yes, sir.
Okay, earlier he has worked out, he has worked, but now he may be, he may not. So that is some call. It comes under the independent. Okay. Then the
Okay, sir.
self-selection, it occurs when you allow each case usual individual to identify their desire to take part in the research. For example, if you take into account that self-selection sampling method. So when you are visiting villages, for example, most of the anthropologists, they will go and they will live with them and they will collect information from the people. For example, if you want to do research on tribal community, hello, if you want to do a research in tribal community people, so what you have to do if you go and visit a particular tribe people, so will they give the answers?
No, sir.
No. So because their tradition, their culture, and their way of talking is totally different from us, right? Language also somewhat is different. So in that case, they may not directly contact with me. Okay. And as see in that case, when the anthropologists they themselves they will involve with them and they will involve in their doing work and they will live with them. Okay. So in that case, they will select a self-selection method, self-selection sampling. What it is nothing but see when you allow each case usually individual to identify their desires to take part of the research. For example, if you take into account if they are when you are involving in a particular research, so if they are very close to your topic, simply you can pick up on the basis of their self-selection sampling. For example, if you take into account, sometimes those who are doing research on mentally disabled candidates. Okay, so there are number of types of there those who are suffering from mentally disabled okay, disturbed candidates. So in order to do a research, a particular research, on the basis of your requirement, you may select your self-selection sampling also. Okay, so in order to take their part in our research, if they want to do, if they want to be part, that is a self-selection sampling method. So most of the times we cannot use this self-selection sampling method, but only less number of people only use. That is mainly anthropologists or other people they may use. So it may be more accurate because on the base of their requirement only the person is available. Okay. Useful in specific circumstances to serve the purpose. And disadvantage is more costly due to advertising. So, for example, if you take it to account, I may give the best example for that RGV movies. Have you seen that RGV movie recently that on Chandrababu Naidu?
Yes, sir.
Some some
Yes,
Reddy or
sir.
some Kappa some movie. See in that case, as it is, see Chandrababu Naidu, there is one person is there. So here, if the RGV is selected that person only, he may act and he may look the same as it is that Chandrababu Naidu, right? So in that case, if the RGV has selected that person only, there is more accurate, nothing but most of the people will be able to see that he is like the same as it is that Chandrababu Naidu. Right, and it may be useful for a specific circumstance to serve the purpose. And disadvantage is more costly due to advertising. So, for example, the RGV has offered some lakhs of rupees to them, where is right. I think I hope you understood about the Telugu people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Sir.
and here mass are left. Mass are left sometimes. We can see. I think these are the types of sampling, non-random sampling method. I hope do you understood about non-random sampling methods, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Can you repeat what are the non-random sampling methods are there?
Sir, convenience sampling,
Mm.
data,
Yes.
judgment, snowball,
Yes.
and self-selection.
And another one, the purposive also there. So purposive is more or less equal to the convenience, but sometimes there is some people will call purposive, some people will convenience. So purposive in the sense same or more or less equal to self-selection like that also. So purposive nothing but on the basis of your purpose. For example, if you want to do a research, widows. Okay, so that is your purpose. You may select those who are widows only. Okay, so if you want to take female widows and others, right? So on the basis of your purpose only, you may select that samples. That is called purposive sampling. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Then when we are talking about sampling methods, there is some sampling errors. See, as I told you that in some of the cases, so sampling errors may occur, right? So what is meant by sampling errors? What is meant by sampling errors? So generally, when we are collecting a sample, so we may do some mistakes wantedly or unwantedly. Okay, that is called errors. Error is nothing but simple in mathematics and statistics. Whatever we done wrong thing, that is called error. Okay, am I right, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what are the sampling errors? See, the errors which arises due to the use of sampling surveys. See, as I told you that when we are doing surveys or research, while we are collecting a sample, we will do some mistakes. Okay, so that is called sampling errors. So there are two types of sampling errors. First one is the biased errors, and second one is the unbiased errors. So what is biased errors? Due to selection of the sampling techniques or size of the sample. Due to selection of the sampling technique, which sample technique you have adapted to select a sample, that is biased. For example, you want to select a teacher. if you select randomly, what will happen? See, for example, if you take into consider, yeah, for example, in order to teach a subject for us, so if whatever the applications are come out, yeah, as you told that 36 applications came. So if the particular dean or other officials, if they will apply the random sampling method, okay. So without looking at his expertise, if the person may select, that is bias will select, right? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, size of the sample. So here, see, in order to get more sample, nothing but in order to get more accurate, we need to select more samples. Okay. Then only, for example, for example, if you consider that your sample size is 100. If you collect only 100, so sometimes the persons may not give the proper answers. In that case, you may lose some questionnaires, but you may lose samples. Okay. So in that case, you need to take more samples. That is called, see, in research, if you collect more number of samples, nothing but if you collect information from more households, you may get good results or accurate results. Okay. So for example, see, as I told you that earlier from the first class, if I collect information or if I get feedback from only one student, I may get wrong or I may get good, I may get worse also. But if I if I take a feedback from all the students, I may get average also sometimes. So all the people may not give the good, and all the people may not give the worse. The class is very worse, worst class, like this, right? Some people may not give the all is very good, right? So and average I may get good also, right? That is the size of the sample. Am I clear? What is biased errors?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then unbiased errors or random sampling errors. See, what is unbiased errors? Nothing bad. See, difference between the member of the population included or not included. For example, when we are going to select a sample from the population, we need to check out whether a particular person is listed out in our list. Earlier, I told you that now 48 students are there in your class. We need to select sample from that 1 to 48 only. But beyond that, I may not take. Right? If I take, that is called unbiased errors. Am I clear, students?
Yes, sir.
See, for example,
Yes,
if you
sir.
take into consider, for example, if there is a our university is going to conduct a games. For example, if you take cricket, so what you want to do, you want to tell only how many players are there, only 11, for example. If the particular team has only 11 members only, so or 12 members, for example, one is the extra player. For example, in the 12 players, if one person, 2 persons may not be available to play the game, what they will think that you need to take from outside. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in that case, we can come to do some random sampling errors. That's the unbiased errors. Sometimes, for example, when you are listing your samples in your villages, for example, if you want to do research on agriculture farmers, for example, best example I'm giving only for agriculture farmers only, see, simply not to understand only. For example, once you visit your village, that particular village, the farmer may not available in the particular day. What you have to do? Can you wait for the 2 or 3 days? Hello?
No, sir. We can't
No,
wait.
sir.
We can't wait for 2 or 3 days because he went to his relatives on the some party or some functions. He may not come back after 2 or 3 days. So meanwhile, what you have to do, you can take other farmer as your sample, right? So there is unbiased errors or random sampling errors. I hope you understood about what is sampling errors and what are the types of sampling errors.
Yes, sir.
Then how we can, if there is some sampling errors occurs, then how we can reduce it? How we can reduce a sampling error? This is the main question. See. Then here, how we can reduce the specific problem selection? We need to be clear that which method we are adapting. Okay, so we need to know that why we are selecting other people. That is the main thing. That is a specific problem selection. Then systematic documentation related research. See here, when we are taking data from a particular village, we need to know that how many farmers are there in your village. So you need to be systematic documentation, nothing but you need to be clear that. So if you complete from second person, you need to be clear that I have collected data from second person. Okay. So for example, if you take the data multiple times from only one farmer, that is not a good. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that is we need to take. And effective enumeration, nothing but we need to do effectively research, nothing but we need to be careful when we are doing a research, when you are collecting information. For example, see, if you want to visit particular village, if you sit in the corner of the village, you cannot take the data. For example, if you're sitting in the corner, if you those who are coming from our villages, nothing but outside, nothing but those who are going to their farming, so if you collect information from them, so they may not have the sufficient time and they may not give the proper answers sometimes, right? So you need to take their time, nothing but you take permission from the farmers, where at what time you will be free. Okay, and we need to go to their field also sometimes, because they may not sit in the home in the morning times or evening times. So he may go to the farm at around 6 o'clock and he will come back by 8 o'clock. Okay. So meanwhile, if you visit their homes, nobody will give the answers, right? So for example, see, if your father is a farmer, for example, if I collect information from your mother maybe is a housewife, for example. If I collect information from your mother, is it good one?
No, sir.
No,
No,
sir.
because the similar problems she will say, but whatever is getting problems, he may not say to his wife also sometimes, right? So that we need to do effective enumeration. That is a field work. We can say simply field work and effective pre-testing also. So here, before conducting research, you need to take a pilot study. That is called pre-testing. Nothing but pilot study. For example, if you take into account, see, sometimes before visiting the villages, I may prepare some questions, right? So after preparing questions, I need to visit a particular village, and I may ask the questions, and somebody will respond it. For example, sometimes if I have written, for example, what are the problems faced by the farmers? For example, there's one question. If I mention only 4 or 5 problems, okay, so the particular person has got different problem, then what should I do? Simple. I need to note down in the particular problem he is facing that particular problem. Then again, I need to select a sample from other. Nothing but if I want my total sample is 100. So before collecting 100 only, I need to select 10 to 15 samples. Then after connecting 10 to 15 samples, so I need to check whether which question is appropriate, which question is not appropriate, which is available, which is nothing but which question is responsible, which question is not responsible. Nothing but as per our requirement, as per their requirement, nothing but respondent requirement only, we need to change the questions. Am I right, dear students?
Yes, sir.
So that is called effective pre-testing. That is called, we can say, the pilot study. Pilot study. So pilot study is nothing but those who are flying, that's not a pilot study. So please keep in mind that pilot study nothing but, so before doing the total research, simple, they will conduct a pre-study, nothing but pre-results. We can say that that is a pre-testing. Then controlling methodological bias. So when you are collecting a sample, so simple, you need to follow or you need to control the methodological bias. Nothing but which method is good, appropriate for our objectives, to reach our objectives. That method should be applicable. Okay. So 10 samples for if you apply one method for 10 samples, if you apply another method for another 10 samples, it is not a good one. Okay. Am I right, dear students? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So if you apply one method which is more appropriate to your study, you should be applying for all your whole study. Okay. So one district for one method, another district for one method. Don't apply such kind of things, because we will get more errors. Then selection appropriate sampling techniques. So that is sampling techniques we need to apply, which is more appropriate. So non-sampling errors. Non-sampling errors means that refers to bias and mistakes in selection of sample. The non-sampling errors, as I told you that if the respondent is not available in particular location, so sometimes we need to wait also. Okay, sometimes for example in the particular case purpose only we need to wait. For example, when you are applying that random, simple random or other systematic or stratified random sampling method, so we need to wait if we can select other person, because we cannot wait for them. Okay, that's a non, and causes for non-sampling errors, sampling operations, inadequate response. What is it? What it is inadequate response? Anybody can say that?
Not getting proper response.
Proper
Yeah.
response.
Yeah, as I told you that, for example, how many wives are there, how many children are there, somebody they will not respond. For example, if they have the two wives, he may say the only whatever his first wife has children's. So that kind of things we have inadequate response. Okay. Sometimes if you ask some questions which are not relevant also. For example, if you take into account, see some of the questions which they cannot respond also. Which is, for example, if you ask such kind of questions, they will not give the total answers also. Okay. In that case, simple we can remove that sample also. So that is a non-sampling errors. For example, if you take into account, if you don't mind boys and girls, for example, see, even for example, if I ask the boys, for example, do you have a girlfriend, for example, even he has a girlfriend, he may not give the answer. If I ask the girl, do you have a boyfriend, even she has a boyfriend, she may not reveal that answer. So such kind of questions, we may not ask the questions, but when you ask, if you want to do a research on particular things only, you need to ask, but sometimes they will not respond the particular question. That is called inadequate response. So don't worry, sorry, don't feel. And next one, misunderstanding the concept. Misunderstanding the concept. So each and everything, when you are asking a question, that should be the respondent should be understood. Okay. For example, if you ask the question about what is your income, what is your income? For example, those who are working as a farmer, he may get side income also. For example, if he has given 1 lakh to the on the base of interest. For example, if he has given 1 lakh to the others on the base of interest. So if you ask that, what is your income? So what is the income? Nothing but you need to define that. What is how much how much you are getting income from farmer? Nothing but farming the cultivating the crops. That is their income. For example, if you ask what is your income, you may say that their interest and their other activities income and their cultivation of the crops. Nothing but how much they are getting revenue. Am I clear, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is the thing that that's a misunderstanding the concept. The conceptual clarity will be there. Then lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge. For example, if you take into account, if you ask some questions, they may not. They will think differently also. They may give different answers also. Okay. Lack of knowledge also, we will get sampling errors and cancelment of the truth. For example, even for example, see when you're collecting the information from farmers or other people also, some may not give the nothing but true numbers. For example, see if you ask the question to the farmers, how many acres do you have? Will they reveal correct? Most of the people may reveal, but less people may not reveal, because if they say, somebody will occupy like that. They will think like this. See, if you ask the question, how many acres do you have? How many acres do you have? Even he has 5 acres, he will say only 3 acres, 3 to 5 acres like this, 3 or 4 acres. Okay, so like that, whatever they reveal, that is a cancelment of the truth. For example, see, generally, that is the attitude of the human being. See, if they will ask, if you ask the question, what is your income and what is your expenditure? Sometimes their expenditure is very less, but they will say that my expenditure is very high, but I am getting only less income, right? So sometimes there's a cancelment of the truth. So the cancelment of truth also, we will get some non-sampling errors. Then loaded questions. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Are you?
Yes, sir.
The loaded question is nothing but, so if you prepare more number of questions, nothing but loaded question, if the questionnaire contains 150, 200 questions, so it is very bore, right? See, each and everything, if you ask them, meanwhile they will also, what you can do by asking this kind of questions? See, when you ask the more questions, you may be tried, you may not give proper answers, right? So when you're preparing the questions, nothing but when you're preparing the questionnaire, it should be clear that which question is more appropriate, is it relevant or not. So when you're preparing the questionnaire, it should be very short, nothing but it should be not load more question. No, don't add more questions, right? That should be and processing errors. So when you're doing the processing, we will get some errors also. There is a non-sampling errors. Then sample size. If you take the sample, say for example, if you have fixed 100 sample, if you select only 100, you may get. Meanwhile, when you're doing calculation or editing, so you may get some sampling errors also. So if you will get sampling error 10%, 5% also you may get. So I hope you understood about this non-random sampling method and what is meant by error and what are the types of errors. Am I clear, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think time is there now. So yeah. Priest Kumar, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Ravi Shankar?
Yes, sir.
Sushant Banarwal?
Yes, sir.
Sravanti?
Yes, sir.
Uh,
I want to know
Priya?
about sampling disadvantages, sir.
What?
Quota sampling disadvantages.
Okay, I will repeat. Okay, next. Then I will take the questions from others. So then I will. Swati?
Okay, thank you.
Question, sir.
What?
Question, sir.
Okay. Tejasvi?
Yes, sir.
No, have you understood or not? That is the main question.
Yes, sir.
Not present. Yeah. Tushar Kumar?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Then I'm not able to see that. Then others, I think I'm able to see only these names only.